All right, so AI, huh? It's everywhere you turn these days. Everyone's talking about it, right? But like, it's easy to get overwhelmed with all the hype. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
Predicting the end of the world, or like everyone's going to be living in some utopia.
Yeah.
And we wanted to like cut through all that, figure out what this AI thing actually means like for us right now.
Right, exactly.
Not in some, distant future, but today, 2024.
Today.
Which is why we're doing a deep dive on this. We're looking at navigating the future of AI. I should probably give you the full title. It's Navigating the Future of AI. Ethics, Creativity, and Communication in a Rapidly Changing World. It's by Jay Poole, and it literally just came out October 1st, 2024. Yeah, so hot off the press. And what I thought was really cool, I don't know if you got the same feeling, but he doesn't treat AI like it's this far off thing. It's happening now, right?
Absolutely.
He's talking about the ethical questions that are already here, like the roles that, we play, everyday people.
Yeah.
And even how we talk about AI without, like, causing a fight with your family,
Exactly.
Yeah.
How do you even bring this up at the dinner table
Exactly.
without it turning into like some big argument?
Yeah, because everyone has an opinion,
Everyone and their mother.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get into it. One of the things that, when I was reading this, and I think you marked this as well, Poole really digs into the ethics of AI. And it's not hypothetical anymore.
It's not science fiction.
Nope.
This is real life. This is happening right now.
It's making decisions that affect our lives, whether we realize it or not.
And what's really fascinating is that AI doesn't think like us, right?
Right.
We're so used to human speed, human error.
Right.
But as Poole points out, AI operates on what experts call machine time.
Machine time, okay.
Yeah, it's like, I like that. It sounds very sci-fi.
Yeah, it does, right.
Very cool.
But it's a good way to kind of wrap your head around it because think about it like this. Imagine an AI trading stocks.
Okay.
It can analyze the entire market and make thousands of trades in the time it takes you to blink.
Whoa.
That speed, that scale, it's what makes regulation so challenging.
See, that's, okay, this is blowing my mind a little bit because it's not even necessarily about AI being, good or bad or right or wrong.
It's just that it can do things so much faster on a scale we can't even comprehend. Like, how do you even begin to, like, put rules on that?
Exactly. And that brings us to another key point. It's not just up to governments or big tech to figure this out.
Right.
Poole talks about this growing community of, what he calls AI enthusiasts.
Yeah.
People who are out there, like, in the trenches, experimenting, pushing the boundaries of what these models can do.
It's so funny you should say that because when I was reading that part, I was like, this reminds me of, like, the early internet. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
When it wasn't just corporations building websites, it was, like, everyday people just figuring things out, as they went.
Yeah, like building the plane while you're flying it.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we got those, like, weird, early 2000s websites with, like, the dancing hamster GIFs. But in all seriousness, Poole seems to argue that these enthusiasts are essential.
Absolutely.
Like, they're the ones discovering the new applications. They're uncovering the potential problems.
Yeah.
They're actually shaping, maybe ethically, how this AI develops, in a practical way.
They're like the canaries in the coal mine, in a way.
Oh, that's a really good way to put it.
They're the ones who are going to alert us to the dangers, but also show us the incredible potential.
Yeah.
Because they're often doing it with this creativity that even the original developers didn't anticipate.
Oh, interesting.
Like Poole talks about how one group used an AI model that was designed for language processing.
Okay.
They used it to compose music, and not just like basic tunes.
Yeah.
We're talking complex, nuanced composition.
So wait, hold on. Let me get this straight. You're telling me we've got this technology that can, like, operate at warp speed. It can make decisions that have huge consequences, but it's also, like, inspiring this wave of creativity and exploration.
Absolutely.
That feels hopeful somehow.
It is. And that's where things get really interesting because Poole takes it even further when he starts talking about AI and creativity.
Okay.
We tend to think of AI as this cold, calculating thing.
Right.
But it's becoming a tool for human expression, almost like a mirror reflecting our own culture back at us.
Like a mirror, huh? I like that. So it's not about AI replacing artists or musicians or anything like that. It's about giving us new ways to create.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He actually uses that phrase. He calls it the creative mirror.
Oh, cool.
This idea that AI tools like GPT or Claude They can analyze these massive amounts of data, right? Whether it's art or literature or music, you name it. And then they can help us use that knowledge
Okay.
to generate new ideas, to make new connections that we might not have seen otherwise.
So instead of just staring at a blank canvas, like I'm a very visual person, I could feed an AI some keywords or maybe like a rough sketch, and it would help me explore different directions, styles, things like that.
Absolutely.
That almost sounds, dare I say, liberating.
It is liberating.
Yeah.
Imagine a musician using AI to generate variations on a melody,
Okay.
or a writer collaborating with AI to break through writer's block.
Yeah,
I mean, these tools are becoming more and more accessible every day,
that's true.
empowering people to explore their creativity in ways that they never even thought possible.
You know, it's funny because I'm realizing as we're talking about this isn't even just about understanding AI, is it?
No, not really.
It's about understanding ourselves.
It is, yeah.
What happens when we can suddenly offload some of the heavy lifting, the technical stuff to these tools? What does that free us up to do?
It's a great question.
To create, to imagine.
A lot of people are asking that very question, and it brings us to what I think is one of Poole's most important points in this whole piece.
Okay, let's hear it.
He argues that as AI becomes more integrated into our lives, and it will, it's only a matter of time we need to get better at talking about it.
Okay.
And not just with, tech experts or academics, but with our friends, our families, everyone.
Oh man, don't get me started. I tried explaining machine learning to my parents last week, and it turned into a whole thing about robots stealing their jobs.
Right.
Like, I get it, it's scary stuff. We can't just pretend that everyone's gonna embrace this with open arms,
It's the unknown, right?
Yeah, it's like we're naturally wired to be a little afraid of the unknown.
Of course.
But Poole, to his credit, he actually offers some really practical advice on how to have these conversations in a way that's both, informative and engaging.
He does, yeah. He suggests starting with relatable examples.
Okay, I like that.
Instead of launching into some big, long technical explanation of neural networks,
Right.
which, let's be honest, most people don't really want to hear about.
No, thank you.
Talk about the AI that people are already interacting with every single day.
Yeah.
Voice assistants, spam filters, even just those, eerily accurate recommendations you get on Spotify.
That's true. I do love those. Like,
Yeah.
how does it N-O-W?
Right.
Like, it's freaky, but also cool.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that common ground. Start with something familiar, something they already use, and then be like, oh, and by the way, that's AI.
Exactly. Like you just blew their minds.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And once you've done that, you've established that common ground, then you can kind of delve a little deeper.
Okay.
And Poole really emphasizes this point. You have to acknowledge both sides.
Oh, okay. So like the good and the bad.
Exactly. You have to acknowledge the positive potential of AI,
Yeah.
but also the valid concerns that people have. Don't shy away from those difficult conversations about job displacement, about algorithmic bias.
Right. Which are very real concerns.
They are. But balance that out, right?
Okay.
Talk about the incredible advancements in healthcare, in education, in accessibility that AI can bring.
So it's about painting a realistic picture, right?
Yeah.
Not like all sunshine and roses, but also not like some Terminator future where robots are going to take over the world.
Well, the robots taking over the world, that might be a little far off.
Okay.
But you see what I mean.
I do. It's finding that balance.
And honestly, I think sometimes the best way to get people excited about AI is to just be excited about it yourself.
Yeah.
Enthusiasm, it's contagious.
That's very true.
Share your own experiences, your own aha moments, the things that make you curious about AI, the things that give you hope.
Because, like you said, it's a mirror. It's not just reflecting our technology. It's reflecting our values, our hopes, anxieties, the whole shebang.
And ultimately, it's up to us to decide what kind of future we want to create with this technology.
That's a great point to end on, I think.
And it's the message that Poole leaves us with. He says, and I quote, AI's future isn't something to fear, but something we can shape together. Your actions, your conversations, they all matter.
I love that. It's not some predetermined thing. We're not on rails here. It's like we're all writing this story together, one line of code, one conversation at a time. And that is it for our deep dive today. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully this is just the beginning of your exploration into AI. Keep asking questions, keep learning, and most importantly, keep the conversation going.